The forest was quiet after the battle. Smoke still rose from broken machines and burning trees. Birds were gone, and the air smelled like fire and metal. Alex walked slowly with his rifle in hand. His boots made soft crunching sounds on the ash-covered ground. Beside him, his dog Hunter moved carefully. Hunter was a strong German shepherd, trained for war, but today he was acting different. He kept sniffing the air, turning his head, stopping often. Alex knew that Hunter had found something. "Go on, boy," Alex said. Hunter ran ahead, tail stiff, ears high. He stopped near a pile of broken metal and rubble. He barked once, not loud but sharp. Alex rushed over and pointed his rifle. Was it an unexploded drone? A wounded soldier? What he saw made him freeze. Lying under twisted metal was not a human. It was an alien, tall, thin, with bluish skin and strange glowing veins. Its eyes were closed, but its chest was moving. It was still alive. Alex's heart beat fast. This was the enemy. The aliens had started this war, at least. That's what everyone believed. They had attacked Earth's outposts on Mars first. Battles were happening on Earth too. Many humans had died, and this thing was part of that. But it wasn't fighting. It wasn't even moving. It looked more like it was dying. Hunter stepped closer and sniffed the alien's hand. The alien opened its eyes slowly. Its lips moved. But no words came out. It reached out. Weakly. Not to attack, but to ask for help. Alex lowered his rifle a little. His fingers shook. This didn't make sense. Why would an enemy soldier look so helpless? Why would his dog trained to sense danger stay so calm? "Can you understand me?" Alex asked. The alien blinked, then nodded. Barely. Alex looked around. The forest was still quiet, but not for long. Patrol teams would be searching the area soon. If they found this alien, they would shoot it on sight. If they found Alex helping it, they might shoot him too. He had to make a decision fast. "All right," whispered. "I don't know why I'm doing this, but come on." He removed the sharp metal from the alien's side. It groaned in pain, but didn't scream. Alex pulled the alien up and threw its arm around his shoulder. It was heavier than it looked. Hunter barked once, and started walking ahead. The dog knew the way home. Alex's cabin was hidden deep in the forest. He built it after retiring from the army. He wanted peace, but the war had followed him. Now he was bringing an alien back with him. What would his neighbors say? What would the military do if they found out? He reached the cabin after half an hour. His arms hurt, his back ached. He pushed the door open and helped the alien inside. Hunter went straight to the cellar door and barked twice. Smart dog, Alex. Thought he opened the cellar, helped the alien down. It groaned again and leaned against the wall. Alex gave it water. The alien drank slowly, eyes full of pain but not hate. "What's your name?" Alex asked. The alien tapped its chest and said, "Kale." Its voice was soft, broken. Alex nodded. "I'm Alex. This is Hunter," he said, pointing to the dog. Hunter wagged his tail once, then sat beside Kale, protective, calm, like he trusted him. Alex didn't know what was going on. But one thing was clear, this alien wasn't trying to kill anyone, and he had seen enough of war to know when someone was lying. Kale was telling the truth, at least. Part of it. Alex went back upstairs and looked out the window. A distant hymn reached his ears. Drones. They were scanning the forest, searching. He shut the window and pulled the curtain. They were getting closer. He ran back to the cellar. "Quiet now," he said to Kale. The alien nodded, eyes calm. Hunter didn't. Bark. Just stayed alert. Footsteps outside. Voices. Military men. Alex's hand moved to his rifle. His heart pounded if they came inside. What would he do? Then silence. The patrol moved on. They hadn't seen anything yet. Alex let out a breath. He looked down at Kale. The alien gave a small, tired smile. Hunter licked Kale's hand. Something big was happening. Alex didn't understand it all yet, but one thing was clear. That alien wasn't just an enemy. He might be the key to stopping the war, and everything had changed the moment Hunter found him. Asterisk, the knock came at the door just before sunrise. 3 sharp hits, heavy and fast. Alex froze in place, still holding the cup of water he was bringing to the alien in the cellar. Hunter growled softly, eyes locked on the door. Military. A voice shouted from outside, "Routine sweep, open up." Alex glanced at the cellar floor, where Cale waited quietly. The alien's blue skin had turned pale, and he looked weak again, but his glowing eyes met Alex's without fear. There was trust there, and something else. Desperation. Alex took a breath, set the cup down, and walked to the door. He opened it slowly. Keeping his face calm, "Morning," he said, voice rough. Two soldiers in dark armor stood outside. Helmets hiding their faces, one scanned the area, while the other looked at Alex. "Got reports of unusual heat signatures in this area." The taller one said, "Could be enemy activity, just me and my dog here," Alex replied. Nothing else for miles. The soldier looked past Alex into the cabin. "Mind if we look around?" Alex stepped aside, forcing a smile. "Be my guest." They entered slowly. Rifles pointed low, but ready. Hunter stood by the fire, tail still, ears forward. He didn't bark, but he didn't wag either. The perfect soldier's dog. The first soldier walked toward the back. The second headed for the cellar. Alex's heartbeat grew louder. He knew the lock on the cellar door wouldn't fool them. He had less than 10 seconds to think. "Mind the cellar," he said. "Walking over old boards. Nearly broke my leg." "Last week," the soldier paused, looked at him, then back at the door. After a moment, he turned away. "You got lucky," he said. "Place looks clean." Alex forced a nod. The soldiers left without another word, but as they disappeared into the trees, he knew it was too close. Next time, they might not knock. Back in the cellar, Cale was sitting up. He had drunk the water and was breathing easier. "You helped," he said in broken English. Alex sat beside him, rubbing his eyes. "Don't make me regret it," he muttered. Cale reached into a small pouch near his waist. He pulled out a thin silver disc, no bigger than a coin. He held it out. "What is it?" Alex asked. "Proof," Cale replied. "Data." "Truth." Alex took the disc and plugged it into an old portable screen. The screen flickered, then lit up. What he saw chilled him to the bone. Photos, reports, videos, all from human bases, experiments, cages, alien bodies, not soldiers, civilians. Test subjects. Alex scrolled faster, his mouth dry, names he recognized. Operations he thought were rumors, and then his own unit, photos of them taking orders during a raid. But the file said something else, unaware assets. He looked at. "Cale, you're saying we were used?" Cale nodded. "War started?" "By lie." Alex leaned back, stunned. He had followed orders, fought for Earth, trusted the mission. Now he wasn't sure if any of it had been real before he could speak. Hunter barked sharply from upstairs once, then again. Alex rushed up, rifle in hand. A noise outside, wrestling, not wind. Hunter growled louder, eyes fixed on the window. Something was out there, not a drone. Not human footsteps either, slower, heavier. Alex opened the door carefully. A trail of blood led through the snow toward the trees. He followed it with Hunter at his side. It led to a strange shape hidden in the brush. Another alien, this one, larger, with dark armor cracked and glowing red underneath. Was unconscious but breathing. Alex cursed under his breath. One alien was already too much. Now there were two. He dragged the new one back to the cabin. Cale looked up with wide eyes. He said one word, voice tight with fear. "Vor, friend of yours?" Alex asked, dropping the body on the floor. Cale shook his head slowly. "Danger." Alex looked between them. Cale, weak but peaceful, and Vor, heavy and armed, even half dead. He felt the weight of the decision building again. Hunter sniffed. Vor once, then backed away, growling. Something was wrong with this one, and Alex had just invited him into his home. Snow fell in silence. Thick, slow flakes covered the ground like a white blanket. The world outside the cabin was frozen and still, but inside, tension filled the air like a storm waiting to break. Cale sat in the corner of the cellar, wrapped in an old blanket. His breathing had improved, but his eyes stayed on the stairs. He kept glancing at the door, at the shadows behind it. Because behind that door, Vor was waking up. Alex sat at the table upstairs. holding a mug of cold coffee. He hadn't slept, not after what Kale had said. Vor is not like me, Kale had warned. War lives inside him. Alex didn't know what to do. He had 2 aliens in his cabin, and one of them might kill them all. And outside, the snow was getting deeper. No one would be coming for days, maybe weeks. Then came the sound, wood creaking, slow footsteps from the cellar. Hunter stood up fast, teeth bared. Alex grabbed his rifle and aimed at the stairs. The door opened and Vor stepped into view. His face was cut and bruised. His armor was cracked. But his eyes burned bright. He looked around the room like a hunter in a cage. Then he spoke in a deep, cold voice. "You are the human," he said. "And you helped him." Alex didn't answer. Kale appeared behind Vor, staying close to the wall. He looked smaller next to him, but not afraid. "We're not enemies," Kale said. "Not now." Vor turned his head slowly. "There are no sides anymore," he said. "Only those who survive." Then he smiled, but there was no kindness in it. "Where's the uplink beacon?" he asked. Alex narrowed his eyes. "What beacon?" Vor's smile vanished. "You know what I speak of?" he growled. "I must send a message. My people will come for me." Kale stepped forward quickly. "No, Vor," he said. "If you send a signal, they will come for war." Vor's eyes flashed. "Then let them come." Alex raised his rifle. "Not in my house," he said quietly. Hunter growled louder, stepping closer to Vor. Vor stared at the dog. "I do not harm beasts," he said, "unless they get in my way." Kale moved between them. "We didn't come to destroy Earth," he said to Alex. "I came to stop what was done." Alex lowered the rifle just a little. "You said something about a lab," he said. "Something about humans starting this." Kale nodded. "In orbit, years ago." "Yeah. Your people opened something they didn't understand. They found a weapon?" "A weapon?" Alex asked. Kale pointed to the silver disc again. "Made by something older than both our races. Your leaders wanted to control it, but it woke up instead," Kale said. "It escaped. Took the minds of many. Started this war from shadows." Alex sat down slowly. Everything he thought he knew was falling apart. And Vor, he wasn't just another soldier. He was someone looking to finish what was started, even if it meant burning both worlds. The wind howled outside, shaking the cabin walls. And Hunter barked, but not at Vor. He ran to the door. Barking at the snow, Alex opened it, and cold wind slapped his face. But there, half buried in the snow, something was glowing, a light blinking. A metal object poking through the snowdrift. Alex ran outside with Hunter, digging fast. His fingers went numb, but he found it. A small, half-frozen pod, no bigger than a backpack. He carried it inside and placed it on the table. Kale stared at it, stunned. "That's a scout beacon," he whispered. "It must have crashed with Vor's pod." Vor stepped closer. "Give it to me," he demanded. "No." Alex said firmly, "I want answers first." Kale stepped between them again. "If he activates it, they'll think he's in danger. They'll send a war fleet." Vor growled low. "Then let them come." Alex looked at both aliens. Then down at Hunter. The dog was silent now, watching Vor carefully. His instincts were never wrong. And right now, Hunter didn't trust Vor at all. Alex reached for his toolbox, took out a welding torch. He looked at the beacon, then at Vor. "I'm not letting you destroy this world," he said, and he lit the torch. Kale nodded. Vor screamed and rushed forward. But Hunter leapt between them, teeth flashing. The cabin exploded into chaos. But in that moment, one thing was clear. Whatever the truth was, it was buried in more than snow. It was buried in lies, fear, and something much older, and Alex had just chosen a side, asterisk. The screaming stopped. But the echo stayed in the wooden walls. The smell of burned wires and singed fur hung in the air. Hunter whimpered from the corner, nursing a deep cut on his side. Alex sat on the floor beside him, his arms shaking. Smoke curled from the remains of the beacon. Kale knelt nearby, head low, breath uneven. But Vor was gone, not dead. Not captured. Gone. He had vanished into the storm sometime after the fight. Left a trail of blood, then nothing. No footsteps, No sound, just silence. Alex had locked the cabin down after that, boarded the windows, stacked furniture near the door. But the cellar still held secrets at night, when the wind blew loud. There were new sounds coming from below, scratches on stone, breathing that didn't belong to either of them. Hunter would growl low in his throat and Cale would shake his head and whisper, "He's still near." 3 nights passed like that. Sleep came in pieces, food ran low. Tension grew heavier than the snow piling outside on the 4th night. Something changed. Cale stood at the cellar door and didn't move. His eyes were locked on the wood like he could see through it. He whispered in his own language, voice soft but shaking. Alex came over, holding a lantern. "What is it?" he asked. Cale didn't blink. "He's not alone," before Alex could answer. The door handle twitched, not wind, not movement from below, but something gripping it, slowly, turning it, testing it. Hunter lunged forward, barking hard. Cale stepped back fast, and Alex raised his weapon again. The door creaked open just a crack, and something whispered from the dark. "Human," it said, not Ver's voice. "Different, dry, hollow. Do you see now?" It asked, "Do you understand what you've invited?" Alex slammed the door shut and locked it tight. "What the hell was that?" he asked Cale. Cale's face had gone pale blue. His hands trembled as he spoke. "The shadow mind," he said. "It came from the weapon, the thing your people woke." Alex felt a chill run through his chest. "You said the weapon escaped?" Cale nodded. "It doesn't have a body anymore," he whispered. "It moves through minds, voices, technology. It's hunting now," he said. "And Vor. He's already part of it." Alex took a step back. The walls of the cabin suddenly felt thin.
Out.
The snowstorm outside wasn't just hiding them, it was trapping them. He opened the lantern to check the flame and saw it for just a second. A shadow on the glass, shaped like a face. He dropped it, and the lantern shattered. A darkness swallowed the room. Hunter barked wildly. Cale shouted something in his language. And Alex reached for the emergency lights. Red glow filled the room, flickering. And weak, the cellar door burst open, not from Ver's strength, but from something inside the wood. A black shape crawled up the stairs, slow, crawling like smoke, but thicker. It had many eyes and they all looked hungry. Cale threw a small device to the floor. It flashed blue and sent a pulse through the cabin. The shadow screamed no. Sound, just pressure, and vanished like dust and wind. Silence again. Alex fell to one knee, heart pounding like a drum. Cale looked at him with tired eyes. "It's not after war anymore," Cale said. "It wants you. Why me?" Alex asked, voice shaking. "Because you saw the truth." Cale whispered, "Because you chose, and now it knows." Alex didn't move. Outside. The storm grew stronger. Inside. The light flickered again. Cale knelt beside Hunter and ran his fingers over the dog's wound. He placed a silver patch on Italian tech. Glowing softly, Hunter stopped shaking, eyes calm again. Alex looked at them both, an alien and a dog, one from a world he was told to hate, the other from Earth, but somehow both protecting him. He turned to the shattered cellar door. "I need answers," he said. "Where is this thing going next?" Cale pointed at the broken beacon parts on the table. "There's still one way left." He said, "An uplink station. Far in the northern mountains, it's off-grid. Hidden, we can reach it." "Before the shadow mind does," Alex grabbed his bag, packed what little food was left. "Then we move at first light," he said, "but next time. We leave the cellar locked." Cale gave a slow nod. Hunter stood tall again, and far below. Under the snow and ice, something waited, watching, smiling. The sky cracked open like glass. A thunderclap roared across the mountains as fire rained from above. A ship burning broken screamed across the snow-covered sky. And behind it, chasing fast and silent, was something that had no shape, no face, just hunger. Alex watched from the ridge, mouth open. The ship crashed far ahead, vanishing behind the trees and a wall of fire. Then came silence. Not peace, just silence. Hunter wind low, ears back. Cale stared into the distance with wide eyes. They Found us, he whispered. Not the army, he added. Worse. 3 days earlier, they had left the cabin. Hiked through the frozen woods with only backpacks, small rations, and a broken uplink map. They were heading to the last off-grid COMM station in the northern peaks, if they could reach it before the shadow mind. Maybe they could warn someone, but now something had crashed in their path. Whatever it wasn't human. Alex looked at Cale. Is that one of yours? Cale shook his head. No ship glows like that, he said. Something else. Is flying now. Alex checked his rifle and nodded. Then we don't stop moving. They marched for hours through deep snow. Hunter led the way, always sniffing, always alert. But the air felt wrong, thick, heavy, like the world was holding its breath. As they moved closer to the crash site, strange things began to appear. Trees bent the wrong way, their trunks twisted. Like rope. Footprints human-shaped but deep, too deep, like the ground had melted beneath them. Cale stopped suddenly and held out his hand. He crouched and touched the snow. It hissed. Steam rose where his fingers pressed. This area is dying, he said. Reality is changing. Alex didn't understand, but he didn't need to. He could feel it too. That night they camped in a frozen cave. Cale drew patterns in the snow symbols from his people's language. He was trying to calculate something, a time, maybe a direction. Hunter sat by the entrance, ears twitching at every sound. Alex stared into the fire, his body aching. He closed his eyes for just a moment, then a whisper slid into his ear. Not outside, inside. Do you want to know the truth? It asked. Alex jerked awake, hand on his rifle. The fire was still burning. Cale was asleep. Hunter was gone. Panic hit him fast. He grabbed his coat and ran out into the dark snow. Hunter. He shouted, "Come back!" A low bark echoed from the trees. Alex followed it, heart racing. Then he saw him. Hunter was standing near a frozen stream, staring down at something. Alex ran closer and froze. Lying half buried in the ice was Vor. Eyes open, lips parted in a frozen scream. But something was wrong. His body was covered in thin black veins, moving, slowly pulsing like they were alive. Alex stepped back. Hunter growled, and Vor's eyes snapped toward them. They were glowing now, pure white, and they smiled. Too late, Vor whispered. The storm is inside now. Alex raised his rifle, but hesitated. Could this even be killed? Was there still a piece of Vor in there? Before he could decide, the ice-cracked Vor's body sank into the stream. Vanishing into black water, gone again, Alex ran back with Hunter, back to the cave. Cale was awake now, already packing. We move now, he said. No more sleep. No more fire. They ran through the rest of the night, only stopping when the sun broke through the trees. They had reached the ridge the last turn before the uplink station. From here they could see it, a tall tower made of metal and stone. Half covered in ice, but standing. We made it, Alex said. Cale didn't answer. He was staring at the tower with dread. Something was moving around it. A shape like smoke, but faster. The shadow mind, Cale said. Out. It found the station first. Alex gritted his teeth. If it gets that signal out, Earth won't have a chance. Cale pulled something from his bag, an energy core, pulsing dimly. If I can reach the uplink, I can overload it, send a pulse instead of a signal, push it back, you'll destroy the station. Alex said. Cale nodded, and maybe myself. Alex looked at Hunter. Then back at the tower, he nodded once. Then we go together. The three of them walked into the snow again, not as strangers, not as enemies, but as the last hope for silence to end, and somewhere high above, a dozen ships had turned their way. Not from Earth, not from Cale's home, but from beyond. Cale stood at the edge of the tower platform. Snow whipped around him like angry ghosts. The wind howled so loud it felt like the world was screaming. In his hands, the energy core blinked slowly. Each pulse counted down to something final. Something no one could take back. Alex watched from the steps, rifle in hand. His face was red from the cold. His eyes locked on Cale. Hunter stood beside him, silent, tail low, ears forward. He knew something was about to happen, something big. "This is the only way," Cale said. His voice was calm. Too calm. Alex stepped closer. "You said it might." "Kill you," he shouted over the storm. "You said the pulse could burn out your nervous system." Cale nodded slowly. "But if we don't do this?" "The shadow mind takes the signal. It calls its fleet. And Earth becomes another hollow world." Alex looked up. The sky above them had changed.
Ow.
Not just clouds now. There were shapes moving in them. Long, slow shadows that made no sound. "Watching, hovering, this station was supposed to be dead," Alex said. "Why did the signal even work?" Cale looked over his shoulder. Because Earth never really shut it down. Some humans still wanted the war, to study the weapon longer, to gain power. Alex clenched his fists. "We fought. We died for that," Cale's eyes softened. "So did we." Behind them, inside the old station. The uplink lights began to flicker. The shadow mind had entered the systems. Soon it would send its message to the stars. And nothing could stop what came next, except Cale. He knelt by the tower's control panel, placed the core into a slot. The screen turned blue. Pulsing with alien letters, a timer appeared to minutes. Alex stepped forward. "There has to be another way," he said. "I won't just stand here and watch you die." Cale looked up. "You already saved me," he said, "in the woods. When you had the rifle in your hands, you chose peace." Alex shook his head. "But this isn't peace," he said. "This is suicide." Before Cale could speak, a voice echoed from the sky. Not out loud, but inside their heads. Cold, soft, patient. "Let him choose," the voice said. "He already belongs to us." Hunter growled deep in his chest. Cale gripped the edge of the console, his fingers shaking. The shadow mind was speaking through him now, trying to break his will. "You don't have to do this," the voice said through Cale. "Give us the uplink. We'll leave Earth untouched. Only take him." Alex felt the weight of the offer like a stone on his back. He looked at Cale, the alien. Was breathing hard, eyes closed, jaw clenched, fighting something inside. "You'd spare billions, just for me?" Alex asked aloud. The voice answered. "You are the spark. You are the one who hesitated, questioned, who chose. We fear the ones who choose." Alex turned to Cale. His voice shook. "I'm going in your place," he said. "Plug me into the pulse." Cale's eyes flew open. "No," he said. "You don't understand the pain it causes. You wouldn't survive. Then neither will you." Alex snapped. "We both walk out." "Or neither does," Hunter barked once. Loud and clear, it echoed through the storm. Like a final vote, Cale looked at the timer. 50 seconds. Then he looked at the old Earth soldier beside him. One human, one alien, both changed by one act of mercy. Both hated by their own sides. Cale reached forward, paused, and pulled the core out of the console. He turned to Alex and placed it in his hands. "We'll fire it together," Cale said to Sparks. They walked to the center of the uplink. Ring connected the core to the emergency feed. The station lights flared. The shadow mind screamed through the airwaves, but it was too late. Cale and Alex touched the final switch together. The pulse exploded upward like lightning. A beam of blue light tore through the clouds. It pushed the shadows back, burned them into nothing. Ships in orbit vanished like smoke. Silence, then snow. Only snow. Alex woke up an hour later. Cale lay beside him. Breathing weak but alive, Hunter licked Alex's face, tail wagging slowly. They had survived, and Earth was safe for now. In the distance, a new signal began to rise. Not from aliens, not from weapons, but from humans. Asking one question: are we ready to listen now? The war ended with a whisper. Not an explosion, not a broadcast, just silence. For the first time in years, the skies above Earth were empty. No enemy ships, no patrol drones, no blinking lights, only clouds, only stars. Alex sat on the porch of his rebuilt cabin. The snow had melted weeks ago, placed by soft grass and wildflowers. Hunter lay beside him. Older now, slower, but still watchful, Cale stood in the field, hands behind his back. He looked up at the sky like it held answers. Or maybe warnings. 6 months had passed since they fired the pulse. Since they stopped the shadow mind, since they changed everything. The Earth Alliance had called them heroes eventually, not right away at first. There were questions. Suspicion. Why did you help the enemy? What did you really destroy up there? What if the war starts again? But the truth couldn't stay buried forever. The pulse had erased most of the Shadow Men's influence. The remaining file scales data told the rest. The labs, the experiments, the lies. Some wanted justice, some wanted revenge, but many wanted peace. And that was enough for a while. Alex thought it was over. He wanted it to be over. But peace doesn't last if you don't protect it. And peace, it turns out, has enemies too. One arrived that morning, wrapped in a gray coat, face hidden under a hood. He walked out of the woods. Like he had always belonged, but Alex knew better. He stood up slowly. Hunter growled. Cale turned from the field and walked back toward the cabin. The stranger stopped 10 feet away, then spoke. "You're the one who fired the pulse." Alex didn't answer. The man pulled down his hood. His face was human, but his eyes weren't. "Too sharp, too still. We've been watching you," he said since before the war. Cale stepped forward. "Who are you?" The man smiled. "A survivor," he said, "from Project Null." Cale's face darkened. "That project was shut down," he said, "after the weapon escaped." "Shut down?" The man laughed. "No, just moved underground." Alex stepped off the porch. "What do you want?" The man tilted his head. "You opened a door, soldier," he said. "You didn't just stop the shadow mind. You woke up something else," Hunter barked. Cale reached for the small scanner on his belt. Tit lit up red. Not alien tech. Not human either. Something in between. "Another signal?" Cale whispered. "Far south?" The man nodded. "A new voice in the dark," he said. "And it's calling to you." Alex felt the air shift. Not colder, heavier, like the moment before. A storm, like the weight of choice pressing down again. The man turned and walked back into the woods without waiting, but before he vanished, he said one last thing. "It won't be long." Cale stared into the trees long after the man was gone. "Wasn't lying," he said. "I've seen that. Energy before, not shadow mind, something older." Alex looked at Hunter. The dog was still watching the path, ears twitching, like he knew the trail wasn't over. Alex turned to Cale. "If we go," he asked, "will it ever stop?" Cale didn't smile, but he didn't look afraid either. "No," he said, "but it will matter." Alex nodded slowly, then walked into the cabin. He packed his bag again, fewer weapons this time, more tools, more light, when he came back out. Hunter was already waiting by the path. Cale had his gear ready too. They didn't speak. They just walked away from the cabin, away from safety, toward whatever came next. Not as soldier, alien, an animal, but as something else. As protectors of a fragile peace. As a team that once chose to help a dying enemy. And ended a war with mercy, not fire. Somewhere far ahead, a new voice was rising. Old, strange, hungry, but not unstoppable. Not while they walked together.